JJ's Productions. We're back with another Stoke City vlogcast. With me as always is Jan. How are you doing?
I'm okay, thanks, love. Right, what's my favourite saying?
In this instance, I don't know. It's been a while since we've won a game.
In my opinion.
Oh yeah, that one, yeah.
Okay. I think Stoke played really well. I really did.
The funny thing is, right, you're talking about the Charlton game, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. And I really do think that we played really well. I think it's 90% better than QPR.
I'd agree there. I think the 10% was the defending.
Yeah, it was.
And
Definitely.
I'll lob on another 10% for not taking her chances, like the Gregory one over the bar.
Yeah. But apart from the defence, I think we played extremely well. And I've had some right stick on Loud and Proud. I've got broad shoulders, you can see. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me at all. I thought it was a good game. But anybody else doesn't.
It's funny how the ones who didn't think it was a good game are the ones who didn't go to the game. They saw like a couple of minutes of the highlights and it painted the whole picture for them.
Well, there was a right argument going on somewhere. I don't know whether it was Twitter or on Loud and Proud or what. But there was this idiot, and he was giving it some go, oh dear. And this fella said, "Did you go to the match?" He says, "No, I watched the highlights." He says, "But I know what happened, and they were rubbish."
There was another one, wasn't there, saying, this is what you've told me anyway, something along the lines of, "No, I didn't go to the match, but I heard it well enough on the radio."
Yeah, that was it.
Now, all of last season we did the vlogcast, right? We didn't do this with the webcam, but we were here, and unfortunately we didn't go as many games last season, we only went 2. But the way I look at it is, when we were sort of commenting on these matches, we would say we weren't there, but this is what we've gathered.
Yeah.
It was about opinions, but it wasn't a final opinion. Yeah. And I'm not even saying that ours is final now, because even though we've been the game, others may disagree. So that is when it irritates me that there's some Stoke supporters who don't even go the game, which for me is like up there with watching it on live TV as far as you get a good grasp of what's going on, who assume that they know everything.
Well, we were well blessed on Saturday. Behind me was this, God, I don't know what to call him, this big thing of a man. And in front of us was a little weed with the biggest gob I've ever heard.
I've got to admit, the one in front wound me up more though, just for the fact that we were right in front of the Charlton goalie in the second half, and he threw that abuse at that goalie. That was awful. Right. I mean, I'm saying this, if you ever get this, I can't remember your name of the Charlton goalie, but if you ever watch this, I apologise for that bloke as a Stoke supporter, because he was calling him some right stuff, and it's stuff that, he's got kids, and I think if any of the kids were in earshot, that would have been horrible for him to hear. Them to hear. So I am actually disgusted at what I was hearing. I'm actually disgusted that the Charlton stewards didn't kick him out.
Well, how they didn't, I don't know. Because it was disgusting what he said to that goalie, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I know it wasn't racial or anything. I've got to put that one out there just for the fact that, there's nothing to be racial about. But I feel like it's as if it isn't racial, then you can say what you like. And it was just, I wouldn't like hearing that if I was that goalie. And to be honest, I didn't blame him one bit in the second half when he started taking his time over goal kicks. Because I thought...
But he, at the end, he was doing that on purpose because what that guy had said to him.
Exactly.
He'd wound it. I mean, this poor guy, the goalie, I honestly thought he was going to break down and cry because what this guy said to him was awful.
Put it like this, I completely understand trying to get in the player's head, right? Because it is one of the things you can do as a fan. You can try and put a player off the game. You can try and psychologically gain benefit for your team. But he just went completely in the wrong direction, this fellow in front of us. And if you're saying to us, why didn't you do anything about it at the match? Well, the fact is, I'm a carer with my mum, she's disabled. I'm not going to go and pick a fight with someone, right? Equally, I don't even know how to get in touch with stewards at matches. So if someone can educate me on that, I will try and get involved in that way, because I don't believe it's right.
No.
But equally, I'm not going to pick a fight and suddenly leave my mum struggling to get home. So don't any of you give me that. But for me, this is one of the things that just needs to be rooted out. I can't help but think of these kids. If he has got kids, I don't know him. I can't even remember his name, unfortunately. I should have looked it up before I started talking about this. Phillips, yeah, that was it.
The guy behind us, well,
he just got foul mouth. It wasn't anything that actually
He was on all match, wasn't he, Josh?
Well, like this, there's a point when I was saying it during the match that I don't mind what people say to a degree because they pay to come. So if they've got a view, I'm not going to, blame them if they swear or whatever. But it's him in front got me because it went personal.
Yeah,
it was something that I don't even know if it was personal, but it was stuff that if he guessed right, then he would have really touched a raw nerve. I mean, he's touched a raw nerve with me, and I'm not even this goalie.
Yeah, I mean, again, the guy behind us, we were just walking away at this point because he used the C word. And I can't be doing with that, so I had to move.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of Stokies will use it. To be honest, I'm saying that just for the fact that you could probably end up in any part of the concourse, the ground and
it doesn't bother me, Josh, but he used it with such venom that it was horrible. I mean, he was calling the little steward that.
Yeah.
And he was a lovely black guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he was a nice steward, to be fair. When I say nice, it was more a case of, obviously the away fans were chanting, and you could just look at him and he'd hear one of the chants like, bread, who'll buy my bread, and, even Delilah.
Delilah, when you put your thing in your hand, and, and
you could just see him
he was just laughing, wasn't he?
And to be honest, I think that's the sort of steward you're wanting in a way, and someone who can just sit and enjoy it with us.
Yeah.
Even if it's like, I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But for this man to call him a C that wasn't done at all.
I mean, he hadn't done anything.
No.
I can understand if, maybe they're getting in your way or, just something that is actually affecting your view of the game or your experience of the game. But this steward was just getting abuse because he was there, I think.
Yeah, he was. And it just spoils the atmosphere of the game because everybody else seemed to be enjoying it. And I tell you what, they never stopped singing, did they?
The way end, you talk about. Yeah, I mean, not being funny, I enjoyed my time at Charlton, for the record. I think I enjoyed the Valley. I know you weren't particularly won over, but I actually like the old-timiness of it, There was a point in the first half when the match had to be stopped because a boarding of some sort went on the pitch.
It flew off, didn't it?
Yeah, and I think it was the idea of the stadium falling apart. And I know you were sort of going, I don't like this,
But sorry, Josh, but what made me laugh was, to the right of us, there was this creaking noise, and even the maintenance men looked up to the stand, and I thought, oh God, it's coming down, because it was ever so windy. And I thought, I won't get out of here as quick as I can. But that's made me laugh as well, how we got off the match.
Oh, you should have seen it.
Oh dear.
Full time, going to say you're just walking along the front of the stand, aren't you? Front row. And you just say to one of these stewards, can I get out here? And you end up walking pitch side. You probably, if you could actually get the raw footage of the game and see the camera pan to the away end, you'd probably see me mum and me just walking along the front looking sheepish as anything.
That's all right, Dave. I didn't mean for her to let me through the gate. I just thought, can I get out at the end? But no, on the bloody pitch I go. Excuse my French. Anyway.
We haven't even talked about the game much here, have we?
Right, the first goal was a 3-man disaster. Firstly, Danny Bath. Secondly, Tommy Smith, and then Jack. Danny should have tackled him, shouldn't he?
Yeah, Danny should have got the block in, and then after the shot came off, Tommy Smith had to get a block in on the ball.
Yeah,
and if he moved away from it.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, Jack is the obvious final culprit because he didn't save it.
And I think Tommy moved so that Jack had got a clear shot. Which
is sort of one of the things that they were saying maybe he was unsighted, and I think surely Tommy's helped out there. So probably out of the three, I mean personally I'm putting Bart as the biggest culprit there. For me, he had to get the block in.
Yeah.
My first reaction was Bart's at fault, and they were saying, Jack should have done more. My first instinct was Bart.
Yeah.
Until I got on the coach and was watching the replays, I didn't even know Jack had made an error. So for me, I'm sticking at Bart, even though Jack should have done better.
I mean, we could see what was going to happen as soon as
the shot went off.
Yeah, as soon as Tommy Smith moved, we knew it was going to be a goal.
For the record, Lyle Taylor, we did pin him last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
So, nice goal from him and from his perspective.
But I've got to say, unlike QPR, heads didn't go down.
No, it was a good reaction.
You know, they didn't sort of go like this and say, oh God, we've, you know.
And to be fair, I think it was a good reaction in the sense that the away end were grumbling a bit.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I think that was what did it. They didn't drop their heads because of that. They kept going.
Yeah.
I think it might have helped that they were attacking the Charlton fans because they couldn't hear us.
Yeah.
So, again, maybe that's just another point that when we go behind, we need to stick behind them.
And I think as well that even though we were 1 down, they started singing again. And I'm sure that does buck them up.
I mean, it's a fine balance. I've said this for a long time now. The Stoke supporters can't just get behind a team on blind faith. There's been too much that's gone on to just do it purely on blind faith.
Yeah.
But when it's 1-0 down, we've got to give them the benefit of the doubt in the sense of, okay, we've got a goal, let's see if we can get back to 1-1.
Yeah.
But too many times we get on them straight away. And that's what did them against QPR. And I think if they'd have been attacking the Stoke fans in that half, they would have had a similar reaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my belief anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, their second goal, again, I think Jack could have got it.
I'm not convinced there. I mean, the way I see it, the first one was an obvious error. The second one, it's debatable. Maybe Jack would say he could have done better, but I think that's maybe just... I wouldn't think too much on him for that.
And, well, we all know what happened with the third one, so...
That was just a diabolical error.
Yeah.
You know, someone had to close that space down, forget blocking, anything. You know, to be fair, before the set piece was taken, you said, this is going to be a goal, this.
I know.
So, if we could see it coming at the far end of the pitch, the players must have, or should have done better.
Yeah. In my humble opinion, I think Jack should be dropped for 1 game.
I'd argue he's already had that with Wigan.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get on to Wigan, by the way.
I love Jack. I mean, even before the match started, I shouted him and he come and let me take a photograph of him. So I have got nothing against Jack whatsoever. But his head isn't there. Or something isn't there. Something is missing with Jack.
I think it's confidence myself. I think he has had a ricket or two, and I think it can affect him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as well as that, I do believe he's got England on his mind, and he shouldn't do, really, when he's playing for Stoke, but I think he has got that in his head that he needs to keep playing well.
Yeah.
And it's that sort of contradiction in your head that the more you play worse, the further you're getting away from your target. So, I don't think dropping him will help, because that'll just do it, but I think he just needs a bit of... Well, really, he could have done with being in goal against Wigan to get the clean sheet.
Yeah.
But
would it have been a clean sheet?
I think it would. We seem to play well defensively.
Yeah.
So the way I look at it is we need a clean sheet now against Derby to try and build Jack back up.
I mean, it's a shame that my hero Gordy isn't still here, because I think he would have had a word with Jack and tried to build his confidence up.
Well, I imagine Gordy would have been at every game if he could have been.
You know, and I think this is what he needs, somebody to bump him up again and say, look, you're good. All you got to do is go out there and prove it. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, that's all I can say, really. But how he's playing, he's not going to get in the England side at all.
Well, right now, there's probably 3 or 4 English goalies playing in the Premier League who are all going to jump ahead of Jack.
Yeah.
So if I was him, I'd pretty much for now anyway, I'd say focus on Stoke. If I play well for Stoke, maybe I'll get the Premier League move in January.
Yeah.
And then from there we can try and get back in the England team.
Yeah.
But if he carries on focusing on England now, he's just going to struggle.
Right, let's get on to Wigan, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to think, because there was one more thing we didn't discuss about Charlton, and that was the Tom Ince goal.
Sorry, yeah, I forgot about that.
I mean, Jack's had his faults for the goalkeeping, but he did actually he played a good long ball to get it into Gregory, who got it into Ince. So, credit where it's due there.
I'm quite surprised that Jack didn't do a long kick, because when they were warming up, he nearly scored a goal, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean...
I know that you can't do it, but...
Yeah, I don't think he'd try it in real life play, but I think it just did show he can get distance on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, I'm going back a little bit, but Gregory, I thought he had a good game despite the miss. I think he reminded me of Johnny Walters as far as just the work ethic, actually being able to hold on to a ball. And I felt like he was someone who was willing to fight for a ball and tackle him, and it's something we've needed for a long time.
I thought Ward played good as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't do a lot, but he was there in open spaces.
He offered a good outlet, which I think we need.
Yeah, and for some reason he wasn't marked a lot of the time.
No, he was quite wide open on the back at times.
Yeah, which, I found good.
Yeah. Okay, so we can get on to Wigan. We weren't at the Wigan game. I'm going to say 2 away trips in a week was a bit sharp for us, especially with the no coach travel being free. So, yeah, we did.
Apart from that, I was shattered from Saturday still.
Well, put it like this. This is where we were saying earlier about people being know-it-alls regarding fixtures. We listened on the radio, so if anyone was at the game, feel free to comment. Let us know what you thought. That if there are any contradictions. But from what we could tell, we played well.
I mean, Josh's stats are they underneath or at the side?
We've got the Wigan stuff on the bottom.
And you can see there the percentages of everything. And
we seem to have a good number of goal attempts.
Yeah.
Was it? I think it was 24-6 or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, they'll be down there. Correct me.
Yeah, but the stats really show that it was a good game for us, and possession. I mean,
it was marginal, 58.5 to 49.5.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But I still think to myself that isn't too shabby.
No.
Could have been worse.
But saying that it ended with us 1-0 and the possession was, so near.
The telling one for me was the last 15 minutes stat.
Oh.
In that, again, I can't really see it from here because we're recording a bit from the laptop, but what I can tell, it was something like 30-60, 35-65, I think, or something like that to Wigan. So it was a case of they were on the ball a lot in them last 15 minutes and we were soaking up pressure, and you think, that was good resilience from us, which is something we do need. We need to be more resilient on the ball, or off the ball, should I say.
Well, for once, I didn't enjoy the radio commentary because we listened to it on Signal 2.
Signal 2. Yeah.
And this guy who was who was it,
It was... I think it was John T. Sargent. I think it was. It might have been someone else, I don't know.
But
I didn't catch the names beforehand.
They were getting it all wrong, weren't they? They were getting people's names wrong. And I thought, I don't know where I am with you.
But like this, I was keeping track all right, but then again, though, maybe I was just I felt in the flow more of the game.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a different listening style to me.
I had a few senior moments, so that's my excuse. I'm sticking to it, sure.
Well, from what I can tell, anyway, it's now caused a bit of a dilemma because we played well. Even though we played a diamond, we played 5 at the back. So as Nathan Jones after the match said, instead of playing 2 up top and 4 at the back, we played 1 up top, 5 at the back.
Yeah.
So the diamond stuck. But the question is, are the personnel that were in the diamond better suited to it? So for instance, should Joe Allen be dropped? Should we stick with 5 at the back? And this is where I wish we'd kept the same 11 from Charlton, because it would have been good to see that team essentially say, right, we didn't do well against Charlton, let's do well against Wigan. But now it's just throwing question marks up.
I think Ryan Woods will keep his place.
Oh, definitely, I've got to agree there. I mean, he didn't do anything wrong in both games.
No.
I mean, the Charlton one, I am being nitpicky, but for me in the Charlton one, I think he could have played a few more balls forward. I think there were times when he just got the ball and he was right, pass back, pass side, he wasn't thinking much of it. And
excuse me.
It's not bad as far as ball recycling goes. I've got no issues with that, keeping the ball, keeping possession. But equally, there are times when you think, right, we're under pressure, let's try and get forward, get pressure onto them.
Mm-hmm. Just want to mention Danny Collins.
Nathan Collins,
sorry, Nathan Collins.
Sorry, Danny Collins, we do not forget that horrendous left back.
Sorry.
We're going to say...
Senior moment.
Sorry, Danny, you might not be horrendous, but you didn't have a great time at Stoke.
Nathan Collins.
Okay, there we go.
For a young lad, brilliant.
Captain?
Absolutely.
Youngest ever captain.
He's one to look for in the future, and I honestly think he should be included, because listening to it, and I say listening, he didn't seem to do a lot wrong.
I know if we were to revert to a back 4 for the Derby game, I'd want him in it, and instead of Bart, I'd want one of Lindsay or Carter Vickers. because I know Carter Vickers has only just joined and I didn't see him, but by all accounts he didn't do bad. And the only reason I go for Lindsay is I've seen him and I sort of know what I'm working with there visually. But when I saw Collins against QPR, I don't know about you, but he didn't look the worst out of the bunch. You know, so I think it was a bit harsh they got dropped. So maybe it's a case of pick on form, and Collins is doing alright in my view.
I thought he was a good lad, personally.
I mean, it's harsh on Bart. After last season he did okay, but if you're starting the season poorly and you've got a lot of competition, should you keep your place on just because you're a big name?
No, you shouldn't. No.
You know, for me, it's... I mean, Tommy Smith didn't do bad against Charlton, but Tom Edwards did alright against Wigan, so it's a toss-up between the right backs.
I remember when Gordy was playing and he got dropped. We had a run of a few bad games and he got dropped and John Farmer come in. OK, Gordy wasn't happy, but you don't play somebody who isn't on form.
I mean, to be honest, I would never have guessed Gordon Banks had a bad run of form like that.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I have to say it like that because, you know, in my head he's a legend, and for me, legends don't ever have a bad game. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's just something you never hear about. You never hear people say, remember that run that Gordon had?
I remember him having a bad few games home and away, and Tony Waddo just dropped him. And I thought, blinking heck, if he drops him, he can drop anything, anybody.
I mean, that's the interesting thing with Alan, because there's a big call from Stoke supporters to drop him. And I can't completely understand it, because I do believe there's a bit of a stigma attached to him that from the moment he signed, we seem to have nosedived. You know, we've gone from 9th in the Premier League to 16th in the Championship based on last season at least. And I can
23rd now.
Yeah, that bit ain't great either. But yeah, I think I can understand why he's associated with it naturally, but I can't help but think, does he play bad? I mean,
I don't think he plays bad. I just think that he's here, there and everywhere, and is he here, there and everywhere doing nothing?
It's a tough question for me to answer that.
Yeah. I mean, we were there on Saturday and we saw him.
I mean, that's the thing, I didn't think he had a bad game.
I didn't think he had a bad game. But, I mean...
But did he have a good game? I think that's the question.
Yeah, I'm lost for words, really, because he was neither here nor there, but he did nothing wrong.
And the troublesome thing is, with Woods going off in the Charlton game, Alan got more attention because he was put in that role and didn't do well, so... It's very awkward because really, I mean, Nathan Jones has admitted as much, he shouldn't have done that. So it really does make you wonder what Alan's role needs to be.
I'll be very interested to see the team on Saturday.
I mean, Etebo played 20 odd minutes against Wigan, so that was good.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll start the next game, but I'm curious when he'll be in starting contention because, you know, if that's the case, who drops out? You know, I mean, the way I see it, Lucas hasn't done bad for the majority anyway. I mean, against QPR I'd say he was a 6 out of 10. Charlton he was about a 7. And even though I didn't hear much about him last night, I'd assume he was at least one of those two last night. Yeah. So, you know, you think, does he deserve to be dropped so it's Alan and Etebo? I mean, I wouldn't really say so.
No.
But that's more because I think Alan's put 2 6 out of 10s in.
Yeah.
That we've seen.
But as I say, he hasn't done anything wrong, but he's done nothing right. It's very hard to comment on it when, you know, it's just hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway, Derby, they're in 6th.
Yeah.
1 win and a draw. And
the lights decided they wanted.
And there was lights.
Do you want to start that again?
Yeah. They've started off with 1 win and a 0-0 draw. And Lawrence, he scored when they won against whoever they played.
They won against Huddersfield, didn't they?
That's it. And as we all know, Fat Frank, he left. And Philip Koku came in as manager.
Highly rated from PSV Eindhoven.
Right, you know more about that than me.
I know probably just as much as you now.
Right.
I didn't watch PSV last season.
Right.
Safe to say. Probably every Derby fan did last season, but you know, that's their prerogative.
Right, last season at home we won 2-1 against Derby with Quikus and Ince scoring.
I'd like to see that happen again.
And this is the match that Typo got sent off.
Yeah, that was a weird sending off, if I remember right. Wasn't it like he went in for a bad tackle?
Yeah.
You think, why'd you do that? Because we just got the first goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's hope that doesn't happen again.
The away fixture was 0-0, one of many, might I add.
And if I remember right, Fat Frank, well, I might call him Fat Frank, I haven't really got that opinion on him. Anyway, Frank Lampard, he was moaning about us being defensive and not going for the win, and I'm thinking, shut up. I'm not being funny, but at the time we were playing absolutely terrible overall, just for the fact that I don't think anyone had a clue what Nathan Jones wanted. So at the time, a 0-0 draw was quite good for us.
Well,
he was just moaning because he didn't get the 3-0 win he probably wanted.
when we won at home, we only had 26% possession. And
Quite a good win, that then.
our pass accuracy was 58, theirs was 83, and somehow we managed to win, so let the gods be with us on Saturday.
I mean, it's an interesting point though. We put the stats down here, and I only put them there for those who want them, but in general, they don't tell a story.
No, they
I mean,
don't.
if anything, that's like that Wigan one where it was 65-35% possession in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That can tell a story, but maybe someone who was at the game can say, yeah, they had the ball, but they weren't doing anything with it. So, you know, it's like I say, it can tell a story, but it doesn't.
Oh, it's like that, 26% possession, and we win 2-1. You know, it doesn't seem right, does it?
No. Although, then again, though, Gary Rowett football, that does sound about right. You know, let's just fluke a win.
Well, I think Lawrence is one of the players we've got to watch out for.
Yep.
And if Bart plays, he's got to be on his A game.
I mean, I feel like Derby is definitely weaker this season. I don't think the Derby fans can argue otherwise. I mean, how they got that Matt Clark in from Portsmouth, I'm not sure. One moment. She's here for a cameo again. Oh, it's either that or she scratches at the door for the next half hour. Half hour? How long are we talking here? Anyway, so yeah, what were you saying? Oh, I was talking, wasn't I? So, literally 30 seconds between cuts there. Anyway, it's the idea that I don't know how they got Matt Clark on loan, just for the fact that Brighton signed him from Portsmouth, and then literally about a month later they decide they want to loan him out to Derby.
I don't get it, me, all this loaning out when they've just come.
Well, it's like a phobia with us.
Yeah.
You know, a phobia signed for Wolves, then 10 days later he signed for us. I mean, I've never heard of that before, but obviously it happens.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe that what happened is Brighton got Matt Clark in, realised he wasn't Premier League ready yet, and thought, right, we better ship him out.
Yeah.
Either way, it's bizarre.
Right, do you want to do a prediction?
I'm going to go 2-1 just for the fact that I think that that's pretty much nailed on after last season.
I'm going for 1-0 Stoke, obviously, and another little prediction. I think it'll be Tom Ince who scores.
I'd like that. If anything, he put in a really good performance against Charlton, and I think those who criticised him last season might be seeing the good side of him now, so
Yeah.
I would like people to give him a chance.
Well, it's like when he come on against QPR. The game changed,
Yeah.
which we discussed last week, so I won't go into that again.
But, you know, he was quite influential in the Charlton game, you know, and he did his defensive duty as well, which pleased me, because when you're at the tip of the diamond, I think it can be quite easy to say to yourself, oh, I don't need track back, you know. But he really did his job there. In fact, it felt like he was acting like a second winger at times, like he was saying, right, I'll track back and I'll go into the areas where I'd track back if I was out wide.
Yeah.
So, you know, it was quite good. What are you doing? Are you trying to bite my hand? Okay, so we're going to wrap this up now, and all we've got to really say is, like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and, importantly, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button for the simple reason, I think it's about 10% of people who watch these videos actually subscribe. So please, don't be one of the 9 out of 10 who don't, because if anything, it's just a shame.
And if you've got comments to make about anything I've said about the game, or Josh has said about the game, comment. Good or bad, I don't care.
We like a discussion, don't we?
Yeah.
You know, a discussion. We don't like Barneys or arguments or anything.
No. I don't argue. I take every comment with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, and maybe a bit of... well, actually, it's a bit salty sometimes, you know.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time. Bye, folks. Bye.
Bye.